This week has been a fairly quiet week around the farm. Nothing huge going on. I'm going to show you the new duck shelter, I guess I would call it, a duck shelter. And I thought I'd start by showing you my new container garden. Welcome to my little tropical farm. So if you remember, 2 weeks ago I showed you Mario making this container. And this is a pepper plant, and he put it in with some paper towels holding it, put dirt on top, and he basically said put your trash above it. What I've actually put above it is some used paper towels, and a packet of used coffee grounds because they're acidic and peppers like acidity. So I added some more peppers. These were just done, not yesterday, the day before. So they're a little weak still, these two. This one was doing better. It doesn't look great right now, but it was doing better. So we'll see how they do. I have 3 more containers inside. I'm going to add those. This is a loofah plant. For those of you that might remember, I've planted loofah 4 times. And never had success because the bugs get to it. So because we're heading into summer here, the bugs are much less. It's super hot today. It's about 96 degrees. So the container should help because I'll water more frequently. And yet the bugs are less. So we'll see if the loofah does okay. Now we're going down to the chicken area to give them some minerals, to add minerals to their food, and to collect eggs. Not sure if this will show well, but I just added the minerals to their food. I'm just going to mix it in to the top layer. And then once I feed them a bit, we'll add more to the lower layers. And I'll just leave the bag of minerals in here. So I'm going to give some to the chickens now. Oh, that's the chickens. I heard something weird, and I wasn't sure what it was, but it is the chickens. I have 1 more egg. I picked up 4 this morning. Only 5 of my chickens are still laying. I thought the gray chicken was starting to lay, but for some reason, one of my chickens that's been laying had a lighter egg, and it wasn't the new chickens. So none of these little guys are laying yet, but they're close. And you can see right behind them, the 2 ducks are hanging out in their place. As I walk in, they'll probably run to the corner. But I'm not going in their area. I'm just going over there in general. So now I want to show you the new duck enclosure. As you can see, we're in the chicken area. And I think I've shown you this before. This is their old shelter. And remember, you may not remember, we built a new shelter in the barn with a ramp, because this is kind of falling apart. They're using the nesting boxes. They're using 2 of them. Well, we took this end, which is actually more structurally sound, and we put the ducks in here. And as you can see, they're not sitting in the corner. Although when I come close, they run to the corner and hide. But they're not spending their time in the corner. We used the posts that were here, and we put up the chain link fence. And this was fence that I had left over. This was the last of the fence that we had left over. So we put this up, and then we put up the door, just using some, I walked into a spider web, which doesn't throw me, but I don't see the big giant spider that was in there the other day. So we put this up just using wire, and we ended up rigging it to this nail that was already there so that it wouldn't keep sliding down the pole. It opens fairly easily. We put this here because it was a little bit of a gap. We didn't want to risk the chickens getting out, but they are locked in here. And as you can see inside, they have their water, which is very dirty right now. Usually, I dump it in the morning, scrub out the tire, refill it with fresh water. And usually during the day, I will either dump it again or top it off. But I was gone most of the day, and it's kind of late in the day, so I'm not going to do it today. They'll survive. And then their food is right next to it. I did just give them a little more food because I didn't do that this morning. I didn't think they were as low as they seem to be. So they have food. The ants are loving that their food is right there because the ants are eating it as well. But the ducks are pretty happy. It's a male and a female. And I did a few weeks ago ask for suggestions to name the ducks. And I got only one. And I think the names were Buttercup and Sunny. Now, Buttercup is the white one because that just makes more sense. She was yellow, but she's white as an adult. I shouldn't say she, that's the boy. And Sunny is actually the girl, the black and white one. So we have a boy and a girl, and hopefully they'll have babies. We'll see. But they're doing pretty well. They're pretty happy. I didn't film it yesterday, but I took Blanca to the vet. She does not like the car. She does not know how to walk on a leash. So I had to carry her. She weighs about 40 pounds. I had to carry her across the street and into the vet. And this morning I had to basically drag her out of the cage they had her in because she wouldn't move. And I carried her to the car and put her in the car. And she has finally settled down in the car on the floor. I think you can see that, but I can't tell. And we're gonna get her home. She hadn't eaten in about a day and a half, and that was really unlike her. She just seemed off. She'll come find me on the farm occasionally, but she was following me around, and I just felt like she was screaming for help. So I brought her to the vet, and she had a really, really bad ear infection. I don't know if that's why she wasn't eating, but I would assume that if it was bad enough, that would be why. I've always suspected she had ear infections. Well, the vet kept her overnight and put her under anesthesia to really clean out her ears and treat them, and sent me home with some medicine. So we're trying to get her home now, and hopefully all will be good. I think they're running from the bird, but I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but they're definitely running for something. So normally when they run, they'll run into one of their shelters. So there in the chicken area, there's an overhang where they'll hang out. And then here is where they sleep at night. But they ran in the opposite direction, so I'm pretty sure they're running from those birds. But they're doing great. This here is just a little burn pile we need to take care of soon. Today I'm going to probably pick the rest of the oranges. The parrots are still getting them quite a bit, but we'll pull them down. I made some orange jelly. So they're a tart orange, and they're not very pretty. The skins aren't very pretty. So I don't want to make real marmalade. Here the word for jam is marmalada. But I don't want to make a real marmalade because the skins aren't very nice, as you could see here. You know, there's still a lot of green. There's a lot of spots. They're just not very pretty. And I don't think they'll be pretty in marmalade. So instead of even making a jam, I just juiced some and I made a jelly. And it came out pretty good, even though they're a tart orange. And you could tell they don't have that strong orange flavor that we would get when you bite into an orange in the US, because they're really different. They taste pretty good. It's a pretty good jelly. So I'll probably make more of that. And I'll probably just freeze a whole bunch of the juice and use it to either make chicha or to make jelly or whatever else potentially comes up. I don't know if I can make, I'm sure I could make orange curd with it as well. I did make some orange curd with the mandarin oranges, and that's delicious. I actually swirled it into a frosting when I made cupcakes, and it tasted great. But the mandarin oranges have that strong orange flavor that we're used to, and these tart oranges are a little different. I actually see now what the sheep were running away from. I don't know if you could see her. But there is Blanca. It looks like she's eating grass. She actually comes into the pasture to go to the bathroom very often. The sheep seem to not be too afraid of her when I'm with her, but I guess her just coming over scared them. Here she is. Here's my girl. Ah, Blanca. Okay, okay. She's doing so much better since going to the vet. She is, her ears are clean, and she whines still, but she's doing so much better. You're a good girl, right, Blanca? Good girl. So I was trying to get home, and there is a light pole down across my road, and I can't get home that way. So, and I happen to have a sink, a brand new sink and cabinet for the sink, a vanity, and a mirror for my new bathroom in the car. And so what I'm planning on doing is dropping off all the fragile items at Jesse's house, and then taking that back road. I think I showed it to you in last week's video. That's only used typically by the horses and the cows. But it hasn't rained, so it should be dry. So it's gonna be crazy bumpy, but I think it will be passable in my car. So we're gonna attempt it. I'll try and take you along for the ride, but it's gonna be really bumpy, and I'm not sure if you'll see too much. So I'm very lucky that I have good friends here, because I went to their house to drop off the items I had in the car that I didn't want to take over the bumpy road. And they said, no, leave your car here, we'll walk. And they are walking with me. And my chicken feed, and my groceries, and the dinner they gave me to eat tonight, so I don't have to cook. And we're all walking to my house from their house. So this part of the road is pretty good. As we get further down, I'll show you what it looks like. Mario's laughing because I keep turning the camera on, but I think they're getting used to it by now. So we're walking down this little path. It's a road, or was a road at some point. There's a farm next to us with what looks like... ¿Es que frijoles? Aquí? Yeah, beans. And then behind the beans are a lot of corn. So they have a lot of corn growing here. And I'm not sure if that's more beans or yucca behind the corn. Mario, ¿el otro es más frijoles? No.
Allá sí. Yuca.
¿Sí?
Allá sí.
Yuca.
No. Guandú.
Okay. Guandú, which is pigeon peas in English, I think.
Esa es, ahí hacen las pacas, tus pacas. Ahí
Okay.
Ese es el pasto.
Oh, great. So I'm looking for hay for the winter, for the summer for the sheep. And he said this is the field that they're going to cut for hay, but they're not ready to do that yet. Getting really bad. Although I still think my car would make it through this. It's a little bit iffy. The road disappeared for a while. It's back, but it's got so many holes from all the cows walking through it while it was mud that that's why I wanted to get rid of all the fragile things in my car. But Mario said no, I couldn't drive on it. So he said it's way too bumpy. Typically during the dry season, sorry about that. Typically during the dry season, they'll come through and clean up this road, but it only lasts until the next wet season. So. But this is the road we were on picking the peaches last week. And now we are at my farm. This is the back of my corn area. And in a second, we'll see the peach tree. Well, not in a second, in a few seconds. But if you look close, you can look through and see where the chickens are, the chicken area. And this grass I left really long so I can use it in the winter if necessary for the sheep. But this is the area I call the orchard, even though I have a lot more fruit growing on the other side of the property. There's the chicken area. You can see it pretty well now up above. And this is a big teak tree right here in front of us. Not a good one because it's not straight. Okay? Ooh, oh, a scorpion. No problema.
Pica mucho.
Sí, yo sé. Tuve uno en mi casa el otro día. Okay, there you can see the chicken area really well. And this is the area where we were picking the peaches the other day right here. And we're almost at my house. That's all for this week. We look forward to showing you more as the farm grows. If you like this video, hit the like button, and we'd love for you to subscribe and follow along with us. We'll see you next week. Bye.